everyone, and welcome back to our third live Facebook video. Today I've got with us Nicola. She's a dietitian here with me at the LifeShape clinic, and we are going to be talking to you today about having a healthy Christmas and some of our funny stories and some tips and personal experiences. But I don't know about you, Nicola, but I haven't really done much of my Christmas gift shopping yet.
Oh, Zara, I've finished. Everything's wrapped. It's under the tree.
Oh my
it's
God.
all about planning,
Yeah,
Zara.
I know. But what are some, you always get bogged down with, what's a quick gift or what's, just a box of chocolates or get them a bottle of wine. But they're all food and drink related.
Yeah.
What are some, healthier sort of alternatives? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, and you're right. It's so easy to go and get chocolate. And
I don't know how many you end up with either.
And at the end of every single supermarket aisle, there's always chocolate. There's the celebrations.
And there's all the sales and you get hooked in.
And you know what? You can buy them at any time of the year. So they're really not that special
at
Christmas.
Chocolate shortage,
So, I've tried to do some different things. I hope my mother-in-law's not watching at the moment because she's getting a really nice little pot plant in a really nice Aztec type of pot.
Oh, cute. Did you plant it yourself and everything, or you find it at the markets? Or?
Oh no, I found the pot plant and then I've just got the nice little pot. So Nana, if you're watching, that's what you're getting for Christmas. I've also, it's a bit of a family tradition that I do some crocheting. So I've just done some hand towels that you do crocheting and put over the oven door.
Yep.
And I give those again, sister-in-laws and sisters and parents. That's what you're getting as well. So it's just a little bit of thought.
Yeah, that's
all
really
of that
nice.
Can't just happen at Christmas Eve because you run out of time. So it's
getting
getting organised.
Organise and plan, absolutely. But I like the plant idea. I've got a few plants at home, and it's always a nice gift that lasts actually, sort of a lifetime, but at least a few years.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's a funny story. I was at a function last night, and I was at a Christmas party a couple of years ago, housewarming, and I gave this person a pot plant. And I actually said to her yesterday afternoon, how's the pot plant going? And it's still alive, and it's still on her coffee table.
Still kicking on.
But again, things like alcohol or chocolate, they've come and gone, but the pot plant's still there.
And it's always, Nicola gave me that
Absolutely.
plant. And lovely. That's so good. Some other ideas I've thought of is even the, depending on the person, but a nice book to read, or even a recipe book, like a healthy cookbook. Jamie Oliver, love his stuff. So I always collect his. What else? I'm thinking, my mum won't be watching, she doesn't have Facebook. I'm thinking of getting mum. This is a little bit of wine involved, but the wine and paint sort of classes. Have you heard of them?
Experience.
Yeah, it's an experience. So buying vouchers or things to do or activities. And you don't have to drink wine. You can bring your own beverage. It's just a drink and paint kind of session. Yeah.
For a lot of our family, I've actually gone and talked to my sister or sister-in-law and just said, what do the kids actually want?
Yeah.
And so again, my nephew's not watching Facebook, hopefully. He's getting a basketball because he's getting a basketball.
Sport activities, So, I love even getting sports clothes or shoes or things to sort of...
Vouchers even are great if you're not exactly sure what someone wants.
Yep. Perfect.
Even things like from the Body Shop or one of those, Lush, body.
Love that stuff.
The bath bombs or things like that. They're really nice and they make you feel nice as well.
They do. It's a bit of self-care.
Absolutely.
And you can get those last minute as well.
They're not expensive. I was really surprised.
Yeah, and they do it up really nicely.
They do.
Oh, good. And then I guess all of these presents and things, it can add up to be quite expensive sometimes. So what are some ideas to sticking to a budget in terms of, not in terms of presents, but maybe just Christmas Day and putting on a feast? I know you've got a story you've told me before. I do have a story.
It's a good story. I think the thing is, people just, when they go to the shops, it's all this panic type buying and the
it's chaos.
It is chaos, and if you don't go with a shopping list, suddenly you're grabbing things. And a couple of years ago, my son said to me, Mum, does everyone make a grocery list? And I said, not everyone does. And he said, well, how would they know what to buy?
You just, you get sucked into, two for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be, okay, I'm going to go and buy a bag of chips and it might be $3, but 2 for $5, I'll get 2 for $5. And before you know it, you're buying things that you actually don't need.
Yep.
Another true story, and this happened a couple of years ago, and this is a story Zara was referring to, that I had set aside, I refused to go near the shops on Christmas Eve. As I said,
It
it's
is
just chaos. And trying to get a car park is also really, really hard.
That's step one, yeah.
Don't do it. So I had this afternoon set aside.
Okay.
And I had my list. My son Jack was with me.
Okay.
We got to the shop and I'd forgotten my credit card.
That is your worst nightmare.
Absolutely. And I was actually down the Gold Coast to do the shopping.
Okay.
And my card was up in Brisbane.
Okay.
At the butcher.
All right.
In my purse I had $100. Jack had 10.
Good.
We made it last.
$110.
And it was
Christmas.
really good because we went around and we weighed everything. We were calculating. He was probably 10 years old. He had the calculator out. He thought it was great. And we did it on $110.
Wow.
And it was just reminded me that, like my dad loves nuts, and normally I'd get maybe 3 or 4 big bags of nuts. So I got just 2 small ones because that's all we could budget for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I said, we made it. And on Christmas Day, Dad ran out of the nuts and he said, have you got some more nuts? And I had 1 more bag. And then at the end of the day, we had no leftovers.
Okay.
And how many times do you hear clients say that they just buy too much, they've got so much leftovers, and then they end up throwing it out?
Yep. Or just overeat, just promotes eating more than you need, or it's just hanging around in the house for the whole week and you're like, oh, I got to finish those nuts. Like, you don't have to finish them. It's just you bought too many.
So it's not an uncommon story that we hear each year. So why don't we do something about it differently this year and really think, how much do we need to buy?
Yeah, it's like just second, okay, do I really need 2 bags of...
Yeah. And do I need to buy another box of shortbread just in case Aunt Mary comes to visit? Because if Aunt Mary doesn't come...
Who's going to eat them?
Absolutely. And even if Aunt Mary does come, she doesn't eat shortbread.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just a bit of planning, just a bit of thoughtfulness about it.
Yeah. I have to ask, what sort of, did that include the meats and things?
No, it did include the meats. All the big ticket items
had already been purchased at the butcher that you left your cart.
Absolutely. But it was all the things like the fruits and the vegetables and the salads and the nibblies.
Which add up.
So bonbons, all those type of things.
Yeah. Oh, well done. That's a little challenge for everyone.
I think that's the thing, that when we have cards, they just become very tap.
Oh my gosh, it's paywave. I think it's making us spend so much.
And then of course, you get January and you get the, oh my gosh, have I really spent that much money? So now going with a budget, going with a plan, going with a list, I think is really important.
Yeah, and like how many people you're catering for and really what you do need. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's really well done. Good on you.
Well done,
And then I guess the big old Christmas day. So, I mean, some people have a really relaxed Christmas. Some people have lots of family and little ones running around. Do you have any like set routines or things that you do particularly to keep, I don't know, sane?
I always get up and go for my walk every morning, and I'm sure you'll go for your run in the morning as well. So just trying to keep those routines going. Yeah, and it's not unusual that breakfast is a bit later or lunch is a bit later. So just trying to keep eating regularly. Otherwise, you get to the point where you get a bit too hungry, and that's where those snacky foods start to look quite.
And that's
appealing.
where we put out the nuts and the chips and all those tempting foods.
They're what I call hand grab foods.
I call it the claw. It doesn't count.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it does count though.
And you're walking past and eating them, and you know you've eaten them, but you're really not aware of how much you've actually eaten.
Yeah, because you have no idea. Yeah,
absolutely.
Ah, good. Routine is a big one for me. So just keeping up with get up early, do your normal exercise routine, get that out of the way. Eat breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people actually celebrate and eat their meal with their family at brekkie and have a big cook up. I don't do that, but I still have brekkie. I don't just starve myself until the big feast and encourage that big feasting kind of mentality.
Because then you'll feel so uncomfortable afterwards and you just feel in the day.
Yeah, so it's keep my routine of my small regular meals and snacks and things, but it's being aware of those aunties forcing some chocolates on the table or things. It's just being aware of that claw, that unconscious claw.
Yeah, I think, and that's a conversation I've been having a lot with my clients this week, and I'm sure you've been having just, what are your expectations for the month of December? And, it's not a surprise that there's a lot of, Christmas functions and things like that. And, someone's weight gain over a whole year, half of it will happen in this month of December.
Right, that's shocking.
And it's around 2 to 3 kilos.
Right.
So just resetting expectations that maybe we aim for maintenance this month.
Yeah, I've been having that conversation a lot with people. What are you, and what they're happy with. If they maintain,
Well, essentially they've lost compared to what the average Australian will actually do.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow, that is shocking, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what about saying, like, if you've got like a pushy person or a family member that just sort of like, oh, you know, you're looking really thin, you've lost a bit of weight, and they're trying to like, oh, have some more chocolate, you need, you know.
Just a client this morning, she struggled initially with saying no. She now just says, no thanks, I'm good.
Yep.
And now I'm realising she doesn't have to justify why she's saying no.
Yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it? You feel like you need to tell them like a full backstory of why.
Or, you know, that Aunt Mary's again spent so long making that and I've got to not offend
the
her.
Guilt. Yes, the guilt of the handmade gifts. Or you've got to try my rumble. It's like, okay, I don't even like rumbles. So it's
maybe they look lovely, I'll just put it aside for later. And later may never happen. Or, you know, I'm just fine at the moment, I'll come back to it a bit.
Yeah, that reminds me of a different story off topic, but when teachers get lots of gifts from the kids and they've baked, you have no idea what's in the baked goods anyway, but it's sort of like the kids really want you to eat it in front of them and you want them to see like, oh, it tastes so good.
Yeah, the gratification.
But it's obviously quite hard.
Bit of pressure.
You just got to basically explain, oh, take this home, I've just eaten or whatever it is, and I will have it later.
And for some people it may be just saying, you know, I've done so well this year and please just continue to support me with my healthy eating over Christmas.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess being mindful as well, so this all ties in to it all.
Which is what you were talking with me talking about the hand grab foods and my Christmases growing up when Mum used to put out little containers of all these foods around the house.
It's all so tempting.
Scorched almonds and chocolates and everything. And as I said, it's this mindless eating. And you know, I had a strategy with a client last year, and you know, one of my highly desired foods is rumbles.
Okay.
But it's got to be made on
your sort of recipe.
Yeah, it's got to be made on Wheat Bix, not on other things.
Okay.
So, and he was the same. So we were having this connection about a rumble, and he was going to a function, and we were talking about, yes, let's grab a rumble. So going in with the plan, he was going to have it.
Okay.
So it was planned. It wasn't unscheduled.
Yeah.
He was going to pick it up, and like we always talk about mindful eating, and look at it, smell it, touch it, feel it, taste it.
Yeah.
So he was really going to have this nice experience with it. And so anyway, fast forward to the next consult. He comes in and he said to me, you're going to be proud of me.
Okay, good.
And you're not going to be so proud of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
So I said, what happened? And he went, you know, how I planned to do the rumble. I picked it up and I ate it. It was so nice, eating mindfully. Yeah. At the end of the night, as I was leaving, I walked past, there was another rumble, just grabbed it, put it in my mouth and kept walking. So it was that mindless
quick
eating.
claw.
Yeah, exactly. Out came the claw.
Ah, dear.
So Zara and I aren't sitting here saying don't eat those foods.
No.
Because we're going to eat those foods.
I think I'm planning some pavlova.
Oh, pavlova, that's another story.
That's another story, but keep going.
But just stopping and thinking, am I truly hungry for it? Okay, so if I'm not, why would I be eating? Oh, because it's my mum's favourite, rumble recipe. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to choose to eat it. Yep. But let's do it properly. Let's eat it really slowly.
Enjoy it.
And
taste
taste it.
My old saying is, you can't taste it once it's all gone out of your mouth and your stomach. You may as well, savour it, not just, whoosh it down quickly.
And the first couple of mouthfuls are the best ones. After that, you're just eating because it's there. Yeah, it's that visual cue as well. Yeah. So just slowing all those processes down and really enjoying it. I think that's my main message for
absolutely
for all the Christmas treats that are around.
Oh, good. Now I believe we have a little bit of on the topic of rumbles. Being dietitians, we know a little bit too much about food and what calories contain what.
Yep.
Do you have there on your little list what a rumble might have and what it might take to burn up?
I do, unfortunately. Okay. So this will again make me slow down with my rumble consumption.
Okay.
Every rumble, just a 25-gram one, that's not big.
No, it's not, because you think a handful of nuts is meant to be 30 grams, which is 15 almonds. So
25-gram little rumble is 110 calories.
Wow. Yeah.
It's pop in the mouth.
That's gone in 10 seconds. Yeah.
And it could be anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes of exercise to compensate.
Right. Yeah.
So how long did it take us to eat it?
Yeah.
10 seconds and 20 minutes to compensate.
Okay.
Which is what Commando from The Biggest Loser always used to say, there's never enough time in the day to over-exercise a bad diet.
Yeah. Well, that's the true saying. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, and again, my focus for clients this Christmas has been the actual food that we eat at Christmas, the pork or the ham, the turkey, the chicken. That's not normally where the problem is. And even if it's bigger serves and maybe a bit more salad or veggies, at least it's good quality.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe having lunch that's 300 or 400 calories, it might be 400 or 500 calories, maybe 600. But it's all those other foods.
Yeah, it's the claw. I think it comes back to the mindless claw.
It does.
Yeah, it's like I had that discussion with a client. She was like, actually, she was sort of thinking out loud in the consult, and she realised that everything that they eat at Christmas is healthy. Like, your protein from your meats, your vegetables. Yeah. And then she was like, I just eat too much. I was like, yeah, it's just that we encourage a bit of that feasting when you put it all out.
Yeah, and that's actually interesting that often we're sitting at the table where the food is, and you're sitting there and you just keep reaching. So maybe a strategy, Zara, that we can encourage people to do. Put the food on another table so people have to go over and get extras.
Yeah, and I mean, generally you save yourself up as enough. You don't generally need seconds usually, but it's just because we've got it, and it's there and it tasted so good. Yeah, you just go back.
I think also just looking at your plate, looking at what the food is, and thinking, what do I actually want to put on my plate? Yep. So have that plan again before you go. Yep. Otherwise, you filled up your plate and you've still got half a table left of food.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
So it is that extra food, I think. Even if I look on this list, we talk about roast pork, and 2 slices of roast pork's 180 calories.
Okay.
That's all right.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah. Let's put some crackling on it.
Okay.
And it's only 30 grams of crackling, and it's 330 calories.
Whew. Yep.
So it's actually not
2 slices plus some crackling. You've got 400 and something calories just from your meat portion.
500. Yeah. So the crackling doesn't add volume, I think is the thing. I know there's taste and I know there's the crunch and everything like that, but it's not actually filling you up, but it's adding a lot of calories.
Yeah, just being aware of those sorts of, the different types of foods. And I mean, we don't normally, if you had crackling every day, probably an issue.
Absolutely.
If you're going to enjoy that little bit and just be aware of the calories and burn it off and just go back to your routine, then we're all well and good.
Absolutely. Just remembering that, as we always talk about, 5 meals a day, 7 days a week, there's 35 meals, and if you were back at school and you got 32 out of 35 for your maths exam, I'm sure you're pretty happy. Yeah. So it's containing those extras and don't let them bleed into the next day and go, oh, well, look, I'll start again in the new year. Yeah. Because that's your decision to not get back on top of things. There's a quote running around my social media, why do we have to wait until January? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Nicola, for having a chat. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. I think we'll even link a bit of this Christmas treat calorie burning article below so you can have a bit of a look and see for yourself. But otherwise, have a safe and happy Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.